think we are live. We're back. We are back. We are live. Let's just double check everything as you have to do at the moment. Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the F1 Van Zone. We are live. And not only are we live in normal mode, but we are now live in vertical mode as well for those who are watching on their mobile phone, etc. We are live for the first time in vertical. We're live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live for the Barcelona Grand Prix race. As you can see, the drivers are on the grid. We are 3 minutes and counting down to the start of the race. Welcome, everyone, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Great to see back again for Formula One, and it's a triple header with 3 weeks. 3 weekends, 3 consistent weekends of racing. I mean, what more could you possibly want? Right, let's have a look at what's going on. Yeah, we are all good. Okay, that's working. That's good. Let us know what you think, by the way. Who is going to win today's Grand Prix? Lando Norris is starting on pole after what was described as the perfect lap in yesterday's qualifying. Max Verstappen in P2. Now, what you can see on your screens, for those who are new here, who've never watched this before, what we've got here, this is a live feed. What you can see here is live. When the drivers are actually going around the track, you'll see exactly where they are on the track. But also you've got the timings. Now, depending on whether you're watching in vertical or whether you're watching in your normal horizontal mode, we've got the timings. If you're watching in vertical, the timings are below me. They will have the timings, the tyre choice that they're on, how old those tyres are. And if you're watching in horizontal, it will be to your left. The left-hand side of the screen is all your timings and your tyre choice, etc. You'll have a gap between each car and so on. So welcome to the F1 Van Zone. It's great to be back for another weekend of racing. And it's been a few weeks since I've done one because I haven't been able to stream the last couple of races. So it's good to be back. So we are a minute away. Now, what can I see? I know what you can see in terms of the graphics, which is all live and so on, but I'm also able to see exactly what is going on in the race as well. I'll be making sure to bring you live commentary as we're going through. You'll be able to see live where we're going on here, that each person's position or each driver's position, where they are on the track, what their timings are, their gap sectors, the tyre choice, everything, hopefully. And you can see the top left of the screen, the lap count. Obviously, we're on lap 1 of 66 because we've not yet started. But, so glad we've got a race going on again. And you know what? Again, we've had what a qualifying. What a qualifying. We genuinely have, and I think it's going to be like this now for the rest of the season, but we genuinely have some good racing on our hands. That we all thought Max Verstappen was going to finish 20 seconds in front every race, and it's just not turned out to be the case. And actually, McLaren's, in my view, are right there now because, yes, Ferrari had a good race in Monaco, but they weren't better than McLaren's. It was a glorified, formation lap. Whoever finished in pole was going to win the race, in this particular case with Charles Leclerc, but the McLaren's were well matched against them. But McLaren's have been since Miami, since Norris won, and they're in Miami. Here they go, by the way. They're just off, as you can see. We just need to pause this just a minute to allow the feeds there because what I can see on my screen and here, there's a little bit of a time difference. So I just want to match up the time so I'm not commentating on something that I've already seen. There we go. So it's going to be an interesting race, but it's key, I think, in my view, if Max Verstappen does get in front going into the first bend, he could pull away a little bit. So I think the key, particularly for Lando Norris, is to just stay out in front on the first lap. Make sure you stay in front of the first lap. We know that if you follow closely behind a car, you can end up getting tyre deg, etc. Max Verstappen's not. Forget the Red Bull and Max Verstappen aren't used to having follow cars behind and be stuck in that dirty air that affects their downforce. And of course, the reason why that affects your tyres is because if you've got reduced downforce when you're in the dirty air of the car in front, your car slides around. And as it slides around, it's a bit like doing wheel spins, and it takes off the layers of tyre, which makes you get tyre degradation. And that's why when you're not out in front and you see cars dropping off 2 or 3 seconds, it's to get out of that air so they don't get that loss of downforce that then forces the car to slide around, reducing its grip. And that's why they do it. So where are we on terms of positions? Of course, Lando Norris starts on pole, Verstappen second, Hamilton, Russell third and fourth. What a good recovery it is starting to be for Mercedes. Could they go further than that? I'm not sure. They'll definitely be fighting for podiums, though, without a doubt. Perez in the P11, he's having a poor. The last couple of races have been very poor for him. And as always, I always ask, and I haven't done yet, and I always ask, but don't forget to leave in the comments where it is in the world you are watching from. I'm in the UK. It is currently 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or 2:02. I see Lando Norris now coming round the final bend into the pit straight, ready to start that lap. That's their lineup on the grid. So if you're just joining, you're joining just at the right time as they come round. So I can see obviously everything you can see, but I can also see the TV coverage as well. So I'll obviously be able to commentate on exactly what it is I'm seeing as Lando Norris takes his position on the grid. And the heat on that, it's quite a hot. I'm going to put my headphones on so I can get the team radio messages as well. 41 degrees Celsius track temperature, by the way. It's quite hot today. Right. As they come round, the final drivers. Alex Albon, by the way. Everyone is on the soft tyres, apart from Alex Albon, who's on the medium yellow marked compounds. If you're watching it on your screen right now, you can see the Alex Albon with the yellow circle next to his name. That shows that he's on a yellow medium marked compound tyre. Right, here we go. Green flag is waved. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights out, and we are a go for racing. Lando Norris gets a good start, but Max Verstappen's right beside of him. It's neck and neck between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris and Mercedes, and it's going to be very tight. Lando Norris had to take. George Russell takes the lead into the first bend. Max Verstappen followed by Lando Norris. There goes Oscar Piastri's had a good start as well around the outside. Wow, what a start we've got here. So Lando Norris starts in P3. He got squeezed. Lando Norris, he had Max Verstappen on one side. He had George Russell on the other. And they came together and he had to put on the brakes to avoid a collision. Perhaps he was a bit too cautious there, Lando Norris. Potentially. Maybe a bit too cautious on the first there. Oscar Piastri started P10th, up into P8 already. He's already taken over, gone past Ocon. Gasly just in front of him. So, great start for George Russell there. We have to wait until we see the replays just to get a full view on what happened there. But interesting what happened. Right. So, George Russell leads by Verstappen. Let's have a look at what the gaps and the timing does here. Hamilton's all over the back of Lando as well. So Lando needs to get some composure here. George Russell followed by Verstappen. So the gaps there are half a second to Verstappen, a further 4 tenths back for Norris, and a further 4 tenths back for Hamilton. The Ferrari Leclerc dropped back a little bit, 1.1 seconds behind. That means no DRS when it's available. DRS isn't available in those first 2 laps. Remember that. So we have to wait for them to complete the first couple laps before DRS, which is just enabled. I can confirm now DRS is now enabled. Let's have a look what happens here. So Russell, Norris, Hamilton. Russell, Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton. DRS, let's have a look. Half a second. So Norris at this moment in time is 9 tenths behind Verstappen. He needs to stay within that second of Verstappen. 1.2 seconds now, Leclerc to Hamilton. So the Ferraris are just struggling a little bit to hold on to Hamilton and the front 4. They're out of DRS range, interestingly. Right, so now Verstappen will have DRS here as they come round the final straight. Verstappen is going to push it. So, radio message to Verstappen from his race engineer, which Verstappen does go round. Oh, it's going to force round. It's Verstappen. Verstappen takes the lead. DRS into the bend. Russell took the inside. Verstappen went round the outside. He gave him a bit too much room, I thought, there. He moved off the racing line for George Russell. He moved off to cover Verstappen, but he should have forced Verstappen onto the dirty side of the track rather than staying on the clean side. So actually, Verstappen had the advantage because he was able to brake late on the clean side of the track. So Verstappen now leads over Russell. Let's see what Norris can do. He's a second behind. And I feel Norris needs to get past Russell quickly. He is in the quicker car. He's 8 tenths behind. Now Norris is getting his tyres up to standards. So Norris is currently 8 tenths behind. He should have, he says. Here we go. Oh, race control. Norris, Verstappen, forcing a drive off the tracks noted. So Norris is 7 tenths behind Russell. He should, as long as he can stay close enough, he should have a run at him in the next lap, at the end of this lap. Leclerc and Sainz has actually overtaken Leclerc. Leclerc's not happy because Carlos Sainz has overtaken him. Go figure. Right, so Russell is currently 1.3 seconds behind Verstappen. No DRS for him going to be available, but Norris is 8 tenths behind Norris. Let's see what McLaren do here. Oscar Piastri, by the way, up to P8. Hasn't yet got past Piastri, past Gasly, 8 tenths. But we've got a bit behind Sainz, who's 1.4 seconds behind Hamilton. We now have a DRS train because you've got Sainz, you've got Leclerc, Gasly, Piastri, all 3 cars within a second of each other. So Leclerc has DRS against Sainz, Gasly has DRS against Leclerc, and Piastri has DRS against Gasly. So we've got a bit of a DRS train there. There we go. Norris is going to have a push down. He's going to push. He's not quite far enough or not quite close enough. Had a little look. Oh, Charles Leclerc's had a little look on Carlos Sainz. So they are ready. I mean, to be fair, there's no team orders at Friars. Not anyone knows about. It's only what Carlos Sainz doesn't believe there's any team orders. So here we go. Verstappen leads them by 1.2 seconds. So he's got that gap, but he's got that 1 second gap, or over 1 second gap. He seems to have maybe by 1.4 seconds. Hamilton is all over the back of Norris, by the way. It's very Norris is. It was brave by Verstappen. He took a lot of trust there that Norris would yield because Norris yielded, and actually it's the yield that allowed Verstappen through. If Norris doesn't yield, let's have a look. So Verstappen was yeah. So because Norris had moved over to the right-hand side, he was covering off Verstappen. It allowed George Russell down the left-hand side, around the outside of the track. Well, it was a really good, it's a good move by George Russell. So, where are we at the moment? 1.2 seconds, still the gap. 7 tenths. So far, overtaking's been a bit of a premium. I think the thing is, Norris has had DRS against Russell, who doesn't have DRS. Ooh, that was an Aston Martin there. Aston Martin. Let's have a look what's going on here. Sergio Perez. Oh, no, we're looking at... I don't know what George Russell was doing there. I don't know where George Russell shouldn't have gone to the right. He should have gone to the left, in my view. But that's... Oh, here we go. So Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. So Carlos Sainz come around the outside. Oh, they do. Yeah. Yeah. So no further investigation regarding the Ferraris because there was a brief investigation into that. So we carry on as we were. Back to normal. Right, so 1.3 seconds. Norris 0.6 seconds. Just not close enough to get past that Mercedes to Russell. And the thing is, the McLarens were hoping for a slightly cooler temperature. It's very warm out there at the moment. But that said, there are some dark clouds around now. In particular, the commentary on the TV are noting about the change in the weather. Let's keep an eye on the track temperatures. Currently, the air temperature is currently 24 degrees Celsius. So we'll see if that comes down a little bit. That will favour the McLarens if that does come down. We'll keep an eye out on that. So Verstappen leads by 1.5 seconds now. Norris 0.9 seconds, just about hanging on to DRS range, but he needs to be. It gets to about 0.7, 0.8, and it's not close enough to get past. On the pit straight, so you sort of feel it needs to be about no more than half a second. It needs to find that time in those final couple of corners, Lando Norris, just to get himself close enough where he can get with DRS and get that advantage. See, look, he's 0.8 and he's gonna get DRS, but it's never. Let's see how this Lando Norris is coming down. You can see what I mean, but he's just not quite getting close enough. He gets a little look at, but he needs to. It's in those final bends, those last sort of couple of corners. He needs to find some sort of extra pace there or something, just to George Russell team radio. So George Russell just confirmed pushing level, and the response by George Russell was more than others. So George Russell is obviously pushing hard at the moment. And this isn't. I mean, Hamilton sort of slows, or is also struggling to get past Norris, but Norris has DRS. So obviously Hamilton doesn't get the DRS advantage. He has DRS, but when the person who you're racing against also has DRS, there's no advantage there. So, but that said, the Carlos Sainz is just they're 1.1 seconds now. They're moving themselves close to DRS range themselves, which means Hamilton will have to have a concern now about behind as well as trying to get in front. Right, so 0.9 seconds is too far back, is Norris. I wonder when someone's going to pull the trigger and look to pit, but I'm just looking at the gaps. The thing is who wants to pull the trigger first, but you need to find a gap to move your car into, obviously. Let's see how this one plays out. Right, let's have a look here. Right, I'm just going to share this. Blah, blah, blah. Planet. Okay, so welcome, by the way, for those who are just joining us. We are live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook. We are live in vertical as well as horizontal. It's the first race we're doing that's live in vertical. So it's a little bit of a new layout. If you've just joined and you're thinking, hang on a minute, you're in vertical mode. The first time we're in vertical. We are in horizontal as well. So you've got a choice between horizontal and vertical. Okay. Put this on there. So Verstappen's starting to pull away now, 2.3 seconds. I feel if McLaren are going to challenge Verstappen, Oscar Piastri on Gasly, they're going to have to try and I don't think they're going to do it by just overtaking Russell and catching up. They're going to have to be a bit creative with their pit stop, etc. I think, you sort of feel. Okay, so we are 10 laps in to the 66 lap race. Verstappen leads, followed by Russell, followed by Norris, followed by Hamilton. Now Sainz and Leclerc joining the party. George Russell is obviously, by holding up Norris, who's holding up Hamilton, he's allowed the Ferraris to close right in. Now Hamilton is out of DRS range and having to now go to defensive. Hamilton's now out of DRS range of Norris and now has to worry about the Ferraris behind him. Carlos Sainz in particular on his home circuit, that will bring up a roar if Carlos Sainz can get past Lewis Hamilton. He's going to push him down the pit straight. Let's have a look. Oh, he's not quite close enough on this occasion, but Hamilton's now under pressure here. And Oscar Piastri trying to get past Gasly. You sort of feel if he can, then he can have a bit of clean air to close up on the Ferraris as well. But overtaking so far, it's been a premium. The McLaren are going to have to be creative here and look at seeing if they can get an undercut, get a pit. Oh, we have got a pit, by the way. It is. Who is that? That is one of the Hasses is in the pits. Magnussen. No, it's not Magnussen. It's it's Magnussen. Magnussen pits. So Magnussen has put on a brand new set of medium tyres. So all the pit crew and so on will be doing the information. They'll be looking at Magnussen's lap time to see how these medium tyres are working. To keep an eye on how that works out. So lap times, by the way, lap time 120.9, 121 flat. So a second nearly. Norris 121.2. Just too far behind. Just overtaking seems to be very, very short here. Bottas now pits. Right. So let's have a look at the lap times for those on the new set of medium tyres. Let's see, because we should see them improving, obviously. We should see quicker lap times. So, Norris, see, the thing is with Norris, is 0.9. He can't get close enough on these final bends. For those who are watching on horizontal, I'm just pointing at the map. But you'll see on those on vertical, just around here, they're not quite. Norris needs to be really within half a second at that stage. He's not. He's in DRS range, but he's sort of around the 8th, 9 temps. Needs to be sort of 5 temps to give himself with DRS, because he can get closer, but he's not quite close enough. Unless he's going to take a gamble and, really go late on the brakes. Oh, Magnussen's been given a penalty, I think, for a false start. Did I read that right? It's a full start for Magnussen. That's interesting. Huh. So I've just seen Sergio Perez go past Nico Hulkenberg. That's Max Verstappen team radio. Had a bit of a moment in turn 7. Ooh. Yeah, he did. So at this moment in time, we basically have. George Russell is basically holding up the entire grid behind him. So they're all 12 laps old now, these soft tyres. Some have gone to the medium. Now, last lap, 122.3 by Tsuki Tsunoda with a new set. Not quite new set, nearly new set. Let's have a look at a new set. Magnussen, 121.4 compared to Russell and a 121.3 on the thing. So the medium tyres are going to be quicker. Is anyone going to try a one stop in this race? Sergio Perez pits. Use soft for Sergio Perez. Use softs. That's bold. So that confirms Sergio Perez will be doing a two-stop strategy. So that's interesting. So let's have a look at what. So Verstappen 3.5. See, look, Norris has actually lost the DRS now of Russell. Lando Norris team radio. So Lando Norris, engineered to Lando Norris. We're thinking box to overtake, and he said yes. Obviously, Lando Norris is quicker than George Russell. He's just stuck behind him, so he needs some clean air in order to sort of release. But he's not pitting this lap. He's going straight down. So Oscar Piastri now has some free air, by the way, because Gasly has pitted. That's an interesting call there. Gasly pits. Oh, that's a bad pit stop. That was a 6.7 pit stop a second. That's very unfortunate because the Alpines were having a good race this weekend, weren't they? Now that 6.7 seconds is going to really pull him back. Now he's stuck behind his teammate. So I suspect they'll penalty for Kevin Magnussen. Full start, and it is a 5-second time penalty. So when Kevin Magnussen, if he next pits again, will have to stop for 5 seconds before they can do any work on the car and so on. Very unfortunate, I have to say. Very unfortunate. Right, so who's coming in here? Russell pits. Russell has pitted. So they've obviously found a gap for him. So let's see what Lando Norris does here for some free air. Let's see what Lando Norris can do in terms of lap time. 1:21.5 was his last lap. Now, it needs to be pushing very tough now. Oh, that was a bit of a rear. That was a 5.3 seconds. And Carlos Sainz and George Russell are side by side pretty much coming down the pit straight. Oh, that was a bad stop for Mercedes. Now Carlos Sainz is all over the back of George Russell. Yeah, that's not helped at all because they were looking for the undercut. Well, they wanted to prevent against the undercut, but now that doesn't do that. He's lost the best part of 3 seconds there, it's George Russell. The undercut's worth 2 seconds. If you've had a 3-second pit stop, you've gone backwards, not forwards. So we'll see how that one plays out. Lando Norris. Now, let's see what times Lando Norris starts putting in terms of lap times. His last lap was a 1:21.5. With some free air now, I suspect he is either going to be playing long term, which means he's going to still manage his tyres, or he's going to thrash it and have a couple of laps of quick times before pitting himself. 1:20.4 is a quick lap. 1:20.4. 8 quicker than Verstappen. Lando Norris has pace. Now he's been unleashed. They've unleashed the beast. He's got pace. Zesty drink. Right. So let's have a look at Russell's sectors when he comes through. Oh, it's all. Oh, Carlos Sainz has managed to get past Fernando Alonso. The Spaniards on their home Grand Prix there. Lando Norris team radio. Oh. So, Lando Norris saying they think they can go max. So, obviously, what Lando Norris doesn't know is that Russell's had a bad pit stop. So Lando Norris wants to stay out and push. But he doesn't realise, obviously, that Russell had a bad pit stop. So let's see what Oscar Piastri does, by the way. 121.5 last lap, as opposed to 121.5. So Hamilton was 124.6, but that was at a pit stop. 121.9. Oh, Verstappen is pitted, by the way. 1.9 seconds. 1.9 seconds. Now, he comes out behind Piastri, who stayed out. I would be amazed now if McLaren pit Piastri. Surely Piastri is going to be used as a make weight here to try and see if he can make things a little bit. Don't forget, Piastri has track position, so if he makes it a bit difficult for Verstappen to get past, it could help Lando Norris here. Lando Norris 120.9, by the way. Guys, all very close between Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton is all over the back of Carlos Sainz. They're racing for track position here. Here we go. All over on these medium compounds. On these medium compounds, the Mercedes seem to be going a bit stronger than the Ferraris. On the medium compounds here. So let's see, because Lando Norris now leads, but he needs to push in the lap times. What does Verstappen do time-wise with those new set of tyres as well? So Lando Norris stays out. He's still going. Leclerc also stays out, still going. Oscar Piastri, is he going to pit or is he going to stay out? Oscar Piastri is going to keep going. I wouldn't pit Piastri at this stage. Verstappen is right behind Piastri. Verstappen has pitted. Norris hasn't. For those who are just joining and wondering, is Lando Norris leading the race? He is, but he's not yet pit. Norris Leclerc. Verstappen has. If Norris pits now, he comes out just behind Verstappen. But if Piastri, who is in front, who's not yet pitted, if Piastri can slow Verstappen down when Verstappen catches up, it might just help a little bit. Oh, Hamilton goes inside, round the outside. Hamilton goes past Sainz. That Mercedes against that Ferrari is like candy, baby. Thank you very much. The Hamilton is very quick on those medium compounds. Let's see what he can do here. So that puts Hamilton to a net fourth. Oh, God, I tell you what, it was very tight. Very tight. Won't be the most popular person now, Lewis Hamilton, after that. Around Spanish Grand Prix. Touch me. Oh, it was close. I don't think that. Sainz having a bit of a moan. I think that's very... It was hard racing, but I think it was fair racing. So I think I'd be surprised. If you're going to give penalties for that, you might as well pack up and go home, to be honest with you. Right, so who's pitting? Oh, who is this? This is George Russell's pit. So it was 5.3 seconds. We obviously pitted a few laps ago, but we're just seeing a replay now of what happened. It was the rear right didn't come off, and it's exactly the same for the Alpine with Gasly. Hamilton, fastest lap on the race, 119.3. Norris is 120.6 in his last lap. But Norris, can Norris go onto one stop here? He's 20 laps in on these soft tyres. Could he be looking now to perhaps go onto a one-stop strategy? Here comes Verstappen, by the way, up on Piastri. Piastri, for every second that he costs Verstappen, every half second that he costs Verstappen, could be very interesting. Let's see what happens here. Because Verstappen is closing in quickly. For those who are watching in vertical, just below me, but you'll see on for those who are watching horizontal, just coming around, coming up to this bend here. Where they are now, Verstappen and Piastri. Verstappen's going to have DRS, I think, going down 1.8, 1.7. He's going to be right on behind him. The message from McLaren to Piastri will be, make that car as wide as you possibly can, without a doubt. Because every half a second could be key. So 120.8 in his last lap. Russell was a 199. Now, when Norris comes out, I think he's going to lose track position, but he's going to have much fresher tyres. Could be the one stop. The one stop could be... There we go. Piastri, hold off Norris, Verstappen. Hold off Verstappen. Make it difficult for him. Carlos Sainz team radio. Asking about So Piastri still holding. There we go. Verstappen does get past Piastri. He did hold him up a little briefly, but Piastri's not yet pitted, and he's on those 20 lap old soft tyres. Mm. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here with McLaren. They're playing a different game to everyone else here. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, what is notification? Right, so who pits? Who's pitting here? It is Piastri has pits. Piastri pits. On with the mediums. That's a decent pit stop. Oh, so I thought 3 seconds. Looked decent, but 3 seconds. So where does he come out? He comes out behind the Haas. They obviously were hoping to come out in front of the Haas. So it just shows what second makes, really. So it's a cat and mouse game we've got going on here, because Verstappen, when Norris comes out, it's going to come out quite a bit behind Verstappen, but he's going to have much fresher tyres. And of course, if they all pits, so Lando Norris, message Lando Norris. If you pit now, you come out behind Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, and Carlos Sainz. But your tyres are going to be 6 laps and counting quicker. Going on here. Sorry, I'm just having a look at why. Going on here. Right, okay. Thought we'd lost connection for a minute, but apparently haven't. There we go. Right, so I thought we'd lost connection just briefly, but we haven't. We're good. We're fine. Okay, welcome back. For those who have put in chat, I've only got one chat showing up, and it's not showing me any of the messages. So I need to see if I can sort that out. And see if I can see your messages, so I can obviously respond. So if you put in the chat, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, on vertical or horizontal, you can. Let's have a look here. So Lando Norris now pits. Now he's going to have much fresher tyres. Let's see what lap times he can push in. The McLarens are basically the last bell. No, but yeah, no, they are pretty much last. Leclerc's the only person not to pit. So I wonder if they are going for one stop with Leclerc. Charles Leclerc, the only person not to stop. All right, let's see if I can sort out this chat briefly while we're doing that. It's going to be really tight coming to the end here. That 6 laps makes quite a bit of difference. They will all be pitting again. Oh, for goodness sakes. Trying to verify my chat thing here to log in, and it's are you done? Is that it? Oh my goodness me. Come on. Oh, oh, all these verification boxes, and you go through it all, and it goes, oh, wrong username or password. Let's try that. Click all those with a bus. Thanks for that. Right. So, oh dear. Okay. So, Verstappen leads by Russell, by Sainz, by Norris. For those who are wondering, who've just joined, thinking, what bloody hell's going on? Norris started on pole. Norris currently P5. However, he stayed out a lot longer than everyone else. He's now just pitted. He is on a lot fresher tyres. It'll be interesting to see how quickly he's closing. You can see how quickly he's closing in on Carlos Sainz already. He's 1.3 seconds behind. He's going to have an opportunity coming down the pit straight for sure. So Norris is going to have down the straight here. He's going to have DRS. 118.5 last lap, by the way. Fastest lap of the race. Not quite getting past Sainz there, but can he get past him? Oh. I'm sorry if you put it in the chat, but for some reason my chat's not loading up. Oh, there we go. I can see. Unwanted edits. Hello. Finally, I can see it. Welcome, by the way. Welcome to the channel, wherever you're watching from, wherever you are in the world. Verstappen leads the race, followed by Russell, followed by Hamilton, followed by Sainz, followed by Norris, who is on brand new set of medium tyres. He's all over the back of Carlos Sainz at the moment. Surely he's going to find it very easy once he gets DRS. He's 3 tenths behind. So, I mean, he's going to have very quick down his pit straight, which will put him up to P4. He's got to make use of these extra tire, these fresh set of tyres. Here he goes. Yeah, there he goes. So Lando Norris goes past. So there's the Ferrari. So now up to the Mercedes to chase. Very much quicker. Here comes Leclerc, who goes on past Gasly. Oscar Piastri, who has got Ocon in his sights, or Perez actually. Oscar Piastri currently P10, who's on 5-lap old tyres. Perez is on a used set of softs. So it's going to be a bit of a it's going to be a bit of a it's going to be, it shouldn't be too difficult for Piastri to pass Perez. Some dark clouds, by the way, in the distance. I'm not going to jinx anything. I'm just saying there's a lot of dark clouds around the circuit now that you can see formulating. So Lando, what can you do with these Mercedes now? Hamilton is currently out of DRS range of Russell. I would be surprised if the Mercedes weren't on the radio to Russell saying, slow down, give Hamilton the DRS. I called it. Just as I'm talking about dark clouds, the commentary is just saying that dark cloud's coming a bit closer and a bit closer. Oh, right, here comes Oscar Piastri on Sergio Perez. This should be fairly comfortable for Oscar Piastri. Here he comes down the pit straight. I can see it now. Oscar Piastri goes onto the inside, the right-hand side, inside. Oh, he's already gone past. He was past him before they even got to the end of the pit straight. There he goes. Oscar Piastri moves up into P9. Ocon is next in his sights. Piastri, like Lando Norris, is on a much fresher set tyres. So Lando Norris now? 119.3 again last lap. 120.5. It was a second quicker. In the last lap than Lewis Hamilton. So here we go. Let's see what is. Just seeing the replay of Oscar Piastri. I mean, It was past him before they. You know, he didn't even need to do a late break at the end, stick on the inside and whatnot. It was long past him before he got there. Right, Lando Norris now into the main straight. I don't think he's got DRS here. He's the second behind. Last lap, 119.8. Hamilton, 120.2. Here we go. Piastri on Ocon. This should be Candy, baby. Job done. Oscar Piastri now moves up to P8. Gasly is next in his sights. Now, I feel like the next 5 or 6 laps could really determine the race here. He is... So, Norris is 1.1 seconds behind Hamilton. He should get DRS by the time they get round to the pit straight. Verstappen team radio. Tyres are very inconsistent. Is it me? So I'd sort of... When it comes to paying attention to what Max Verstappen says about the condition of his car, etc., am I the only one who just thinks whatever? You tell us every week that your car's on the verge of blowing up and then you go and win the race. So... in my view. So Norris isn't quite catching now at the rate of what he wanted to, but I suspect the Mercedes are probably just opened up a little bit. Perhaps they were tyre saving and now they're just watching Oscar Piastri replay on Ocon. Well past again. Well, it passed him by halfway down the straight. Okay, so let's see what is going on here. We should be live on Facebook. Yeah, we are live on Facebook. If you aren't watching on Facebook, we are live on Facebook. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, both in horizontal and on vertical. Right, it's only half seconds here now, so Lando Norris has had it's going to be a lot closer here now. Lando Norris on Hamilton. Hamilton will make that car wide. We know that. Here they come, round the last bend. Here he goes. Is he going to be... He's pushing down. He's pushing down. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Lando Norris. Lewis Hamilton moves to the inside. Norris covers off Lando. He wasn't quite there then, but it's all over the back of Hamilton now. All over the back of him. Moving around turn 3. Still straight on in. Can he will Evan have a chance up the inside here? No, probably going to have to wait now until the end of the lap. This is costing Lando now. He needs to get past Hamilton and then get past him. Once he gets into clear air, it's going to be very... I mean, he's obviously a lot closer, but the overtaking's not been quite, I don't think, as easy around here as it has been previously, in my view. Here we go again, and then moving up towards the final bend. Lando Norris, who is just less than half a second, a couple of tenths, in fact, behind Lewis Hamilton. Here we go. DRS comes out for Norris, not for Hamilton. Norris he's much closer this time round. Goes round. He's passed him. There we go. It shows you need to be a lot closer going round that final bend. You need to be close. And on that note, I need to grab myself a drink. I'm running on empty here. So I'll be back in just 2 seconds. Right. So, much darkness, very dark clouds now hovering right over the track. Could there be rain in the air? It's certainly cooler. You can see the sunlight is basically gone over a lot of the track. I haven't got the light and the shadows now. So it's yeah. So here we go then. Lando Norris and George Russell. George Russell live between him and P2. So let's have a look what now remember Lando Norris had trouble getting past George Russell previously. However, they were on the same tyres, where now they're on the same compound, but they're on totally different tyre age. Norris's tyres are 10 laps old. Here we go, and there's Oscar Piastri on Gasly, and there goes Piastri up into 6. He's got a bit of a gap now to Leclerc, but he's got free air, Oscar Piastri. Just to give as far as another thing to keep an eye on, I guess. So let's see where Lando Norris can get to. This could be, yeah. So Lando Norris is now 6 tenths. He is closer. He was struggling to get within 8-9 tenths on the final bend, remember, last time round. He's much closer now. Let's see if he can, with these fresher tyres. He'll have DRS wide open. There it goes. He's much closer. Much closer. He's going to go. George Russell shifts into the inside, but it's a lot more. Lando Norris is going to go up on the inside, and Lando Norris and George Russell are wheel to wheel going up the hill, and Lando Norris goes round the outside. Lando Norris takes P2. George Russell tried to defend, but Lando Norris read him very well, but George Russell tries to fight back round the outside. And he goes round the outside, and there's great racing here, but Lando Norris switches round to the inside. Now Lando Norris has got much better traction downhill. He's gone inside, touches a bit of grass, but he's able to break a little bit later. Lando Norris makes a stick this time round, but George Russell is going to have DRS going down this next straight. Whoa, what good racing. Great racing. Whoa, dear. What racing we had there. So he's pushing George Russell, but his problem is he just doesn't have the grip there. Lando Norris is starting to pull away. Now, they will have DRS, George Russell. I think he's just about has DRS. But Lando's moving further away. Now George Russell's actually under pressure now from Lewis Hamilton. Because Lewis Hamilton is now right behind George Russell. That was excellent racing. Really fair, good, clean racing. That's what we're here to see. Long live that. So let's see what Norris can do now. He's 9.2 seconds behind Verstappen. He's got obviously 6-lap fresher tyres, but Verstappen being so far out in front, he wouldn't have pushed those tyres. So I think he may have lost the advantage personally to what he previously had. I'm just watching a replay now. Really good racing. One was around the outside, one was in the inside, and one corner. And then, of course, you get to the next corner. It switches to the other way round. Brilliant racing. Really good. Yeah, I thought, that's just, I don't know how they managed to, it was really good. Yeah, ultimately, going into turn 7, George Russell with those much older tyres just wouldn't have been able, he just couldn't brake late enough, whereas Lando Norris was able to just put on the brakes a little bit further, so he's able to go that little bit faster into the corner. Great racing. Into the pits comes George Russell, by the way. Interestingly, I mean, we're halfway through the race. We're 37 laps into a 66 race. We're just over halfway. 20 seconds on the medium. Oh, George Russell goes into the hard tyres. Now, if the McLarens have got, I'm not sure if they've got another set of mediums. I mean, the McLarens don't need to pit for at least another 7-8 laps, which means they could. They don't necessarily need to pit into the hard tyres. They could pit onto the medium tyres, which would be interesting. So Lando Norris now 8.4 seconds. That clean air now for Lando Norris. He is starting to close on Verstappen. He's got some work to do, but he is starting to close. Wow. Okay. So I've just seen. How did George overtake Lewis? It was on a start. I try and pronounce your name, but I'd look a fool. But yeah, it was on a start. Okay, so we are on lap 38 of 66. Verstappen leads Norris by 8.1 seconds. However, Lando Norris is lapping over half a second quicker than Verstappen at the moment. Verstappen is on 20-lap-old tyres. Let's see how that plays out, whether Lando can continue to push at this rate. Now he's got clean air. He's done the hard work by getting past both Mercedes and the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. So he's done the hard work on the track of overtaking. Now's the time to push. Oh my, that was some good racing though we saw a minute ago. Really good racing. Right, let's have a look here. If you haven't, or by the way, just doing my YouTube housekeeping. If you haven't liked the video, I would really appreciate if you could hit that like button. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, don't forget you can subscribe. It's totally free of charge to subscribe, and you'll be able to watch the races as we do this every race week or every race weekend, as it may be. We are live in horizontal and on vertical, so whichever way you want to watch. We're live on shorts and on normal YouTube, Facebook, etc. So feel free to join us. Okay, so Lando Norris 7.5 seconds now. Last lap 1:19.8 by Verstappen, which is quicker than his previous lap before. So Verstappen is starting to push his car a little bit more. Russell, by the way, 1:18.3 on a brand new set of those hard tyres, but he's got a long way to go on those tyres. 1 seconds now, that gap. Some traffic though. It has to be said that Verstappen has had some traffic to go through. Oh. Look, yeah, I mean, Hamilton, it's very finely poised. The thing is, we're all going to probably have another pit stop. So Sainz has pitted for a set of hards. Russell's on a set of hards. Now, that's obviously the tyre of choice to go on at this stage because there is still 26 laps to go. But, and this is key here to think about, one of the things now, in the next sort of 5 or 6 laps, if you haven't pitted within the next 5 or 6 laps, you won't need to go onto the hards. You can consider a new set of medium tyres if you've got a set of medium tyres available. So the McLarens, they're not going to need to pit for 5 or 6 laps, for example, at least. So they wouldn't necessarily need to go onto the hard tyres. They could go onto a brand new set of medium tyres against older hard tyres going further forward. So it's very finely poised the way things are going on here. 7 seconds now, the gap. 1:19.2 to 1:19.6. Verstappen went quicker last lap again than the lap before. So Verstappen is still continuing to push, still trying to get that car going faster. But Norris is beating his lap times. Norris is running quicker than Verstappen. Let's see how this one plays out. Now, just watching the Ocon against Ricciardo here. Down the pit straights, Ocon makes it past Ricciardo before they even get to the end of the straight there. So who has yet to? So we've got quite a few tyres now. You can see on your screen if you're watching vertical, it's below me. If you're watching horizontal, it's to the left on the left hand side of the screen. those you can see all the list of cars are on the white marked hard compound tyres. So Lando Norris, 6.2 seconds now. That time continuing to come down. 6/10 quicker, last lap, despite traffic. Tsunoda goes up next for Norris to get past in terms of the back markers. Obviously, the blue flags will be waved, but it doesn't mean it doesn't have some slight, impact on the race. So, okay, so we are at lap 41 or 66. Blue wave flags for Tsunoda. Our track temperatures come down a degree or two. We've obviously got a bit more cloud cover now, a couple of dirty, dark clouds as well, which is going to drop the temperature down a little bit, which is actually favours the McLarens. McLarens want a cooler track rather than a hotter track. 5.9 seconds now, the gap between Norris. Remember, it was 9 seconds. When Lando Norris passed Lewis Hamilton, there was 9.2 seconds between him and Verstappen. It's now 5.9. It is coming down. George Russell last lap, 119.4. Lando Norris last lap, 118.9. Norris is on 18-lap-old mediums. Russell's on 4-second-old hard tyres. With clean air, by the way, old George Russell. So, 5.7 seconds. And the time still comes down. Bottas and Stroll next to go past on terms of lapped cars with the back markers. In fact, we've had all the way from Stroll backwards. Stroll, Bottas, Tsunoda, Magnussen and Sargent have all been lapped. Alex Albon's next will be the next one lapped, followed by Hülkenberg and Ricciardo. Oh, so Lando, George Russell has said his tyres do not feel good. They are sliding. Now, that will almost certainly be because of the temperature. It could go soft, It's not beyond realms here that they can look to go soft. I don't know if it's going onto the hard tyres. It's suited those who have gone onto the hard tyres. I think there might have been a bit of a mistake. 5.3 seconds now, Lando Norris. Despite the traffic, Verstappen's on 25-lap-old medium tyres. There are 23 laps to go. Verstappen has done 25 laps on the medium. So, if you're going to pit now, I don't know if going onto hard tyres would be worth it. You'd go either onto a set of mediums, or you might go a few more laps longer and try and perhaps even go onto the softs. I think 16 laps is fine on the softs, So if you could get another 7 laps, it'd be 50 laps then. 16 laps on the soft tyres, yeah, why not? Lot of fuel load. Hülkenberg, by the way, going past Ricciardo, who is pitting, I think. Yeah, Ricciardo pits, so that's why Hülkenberg's gone past him. Oh, locking up there, old Ricciardo going into the pits. So, 4.7 seconds now, 119.5 against the 120. Hang on, no, Lando Norris coming past now. So, Lando Norris goes 120.3 for Verstappen. 119.4. Hamilton pits. 0.2. We got a really good race building up here. Oh, Hamilton pits onto the soft tyres. The soft tyres here has got 22 laps to do on those soft tyres, as Lewis Hamilton. That's interesting that they're going for the softs now. Onto the soft tyres. At this stage, we said we called that some might go into the soft, but this is quite early still. 22 laps is a lot to do on the soft tyres. Let's have a look. So George Russell last lap was a 119.3. Norris was a 19.4. Yeah, I think Russell's been left out a little bit there. That going onto that hard tyre might not have been the smartest move. So Norris now 4.5, but he has got traffic. He's going past Alex Albon here, who he'll have DRS actually as he goes past. Oh, Albon pits. Verstappen pits. Max Verstappen pits. What is he going on to? The softs? Onto a set of softs by the looks. Set of softs for Verstappen. 2.8 seconds. Brand new set of soft for Max Verstappen. So, now let's see what happens here. So, Lando Norris, when do they pit him? As soon as they can find a gap, I suspect he'll be in. Lando Norris, Verstappen has pitted. This is our chance now. So, push is the words there. 119.4. Fastest first sector of the race by Lando Norris. Fastest first sector. He is pushing, ladies and gentlemen. Lando Norris is pushing. Now, Verstappen is pitted on softs. Now, Lando Norris could do a few more laps here. This could be interesting because if Lando Norris can push hard here, when he comes back out after he pits onto a new set himself, he's going to have much quicker tyres than Verstappen. This is building up to what is going to be a really good climax of this race. Wow. Lewis Hamilton, by the way, on one of the fries. Is that Sainz? Yeah, Lewis Hamilton on Carlos Sainz. This is for track position. Lewis Hamilton is on brand new set of soft tyres though. Leclerc is on 8-lap old hard tyres. 18.7 Lando Norris. 18.7. He's gone a second quicker than the last lap. He is pushing his Lando. He is pushing hard. This is make or break now. The next 3 or 4 laps could be a real big factor in this race now. Here we go. Here we go. Your audio's cutting out, by the way. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know why it's cutting out. Let me have a listen. It might be, perhaps it must be when I'm moving away from the mic, maybe. Let's have a look. But it shouldn't be it shouldn't be cutting out. Let me have a listen. There should be. I think it's. Okay, so I think it must be because I've got obviously certain settings. I'm going to guess that it's when I am looking that way or I'm looking that way. I'm going to guess it's something along those lines. I think. So hopefully that is a bit better, but thanks for clarifying that. So I just need to be a bit more mindful about where I'm talking, I think, by the sounds of things. Maybe move that up a little bit there. Let's just try. Oh, the wrong way. Nothing like a reset live on the stream. Okay, so let's have a look where we're at now. So we've got 119.4 last lap for Lando Norris, who had traffic. Verstappen 117.8. So as we expect, well, Hamilton 117.8 as well. So as we're expecting, those who don't be concerned. Those who have gone in, Verstappen, Hamilton, new set of soft tyres, and they're setting the fastest laps. They're on a brand new set of soft tyres. But where does that come in 10 laps time? When Lando Norris is behind them and they've got, Lando Norris might be about to pit. I'm just hearing, my sources confirmed to me that Lando Norris may be pitting this lap. Let's have a look. They must have found a gap here, so then. Yeah, so Lando Norris pits now. Oh, it's going to be very tight. They've got to get a good stop here. And they go. Oh, no, it's taken a little bit. 3.6. It's about a second slower than they would have liked, that's for sure. So here he comes out. Second place, George Russell. So Lando Norris stays out. Just stays out ahead of George Russell. So here we go. Hulkenberg penalty, by the way. Penalty for Hulkenberg of 5 seconds. I'm not sure what that was for. I didn't realise it was under investigation. Speeding in the pit lane. There we go. Speeding in the pit lane for... Okay, so now Lando Norris, he's 3 laps newer soft tyres. They've got clear air now, as Norris. It's all going to be... Oh, it's very... Yeah... Rear left. So a lot of the cars have struggled this today in terms of their pit stops. But here we go then. It is. We are on now to the end. It is 18 laps to go. We're on lap 48 of 66. 18 laps. No more scheduled pit stops. The sun's back out again. It's still cloudy all around the circuit, but there is a bit more sunlight. Lando Norris has got Ricciardo in front of him, but Lando Norris with, I think the blue flag will be waved there for Ricciardo, so Ricciardo will have to yield out the way. And just for good measure, Lando Norris has got a bit of DRS there, which will help. So the gap now is 7.6 seconds. Let's have a look at what these sort of lap times do. Oh, right. Here we go then. It's all set. By the way, what do you do for Mercedes? George Russell is struggling. Hamilton is all over the back of Russell. Surely team orders for Toto Wolff will be, George, step aside, son. Allow Lewis through because you're on totally different strategies here now. Russell's on older, hard tyres. Hamilton's on newer, soft tyres. It'd be stupid, wouldn't it, not to, in my view. Let's have a look. 6.9 seconds now the gap. He's closing his Lando. He's closing. Verstappen did have a little bit of traffic though there in that lap. Back up 7 seconds, 6.9. So last lap. Let's have a look. Verstappen goes through, sets a 118.2. Lando Norris with a 117.3, fastest lap of the race by Lando Norris. It's nearly a second quicker than Verstappen. Nearly a second. Here we go. Here we go. We have got 16 laps to go. Lando Norris, if he can keep lapping at that sort of pace, he'll be caught up with him within 7 or 8 laps. Here we go. Come on, let's see a race at the front here. Perez pits from 8th, P8. Been a bad race, isn't it, for Perez? New set of softs. 3-stop strategy for Perez. I mean, it just makes you wonder what goes on, really. I don't know why is Perez's car so much different to... Here we go, Verstappen. Lando pushing hard and not saving tyres, Max. All corners. Here we go. So Lando Norris, scary, goes round. He's got traffic, but he's got some DRS as he goes past. By the looks of things, so he's got Bottas and trying to see that other... One of the Hasses, is that Magnussen? There we go. So he goes past Magnussen. Bottas is next, but we're hoping don't slow him down. The gap is 6.1 seconds now. But he's got traffic, is Norris. Yeah, move out the way, Bottas. There we go. Don't stop us having a good race here. Well done, lad. Good man. Right, 6 seconds is the gap. Let's see, Hamilton and Russell. Are they going to give team orders to Russell or penalty to Yuki Tsunoda now? Penalty to Yuki Tsunoda, 5 seconds, and that is for speeding in the pit lane. Another one speeding in the pit lane. 5.9 seconds now, the gap. Let's have a look what happens with Hamilton and Russell. Now, if you're going to give team orders for overtaking, I would suspect it will be down the pit straight where you're going to move out the way, aren't you? So let's see what happens here as they come around the final, coming up to the final turning, final corner. Let's see if Hamilton has to force his way past Russell or Russell's been given team orders. New fastest lap of the race, by the way. Here we go. Lewis Hamilton, DRS. Russell isn't moving out of the way, so Hamilton's going to have to do it the hard way. Hamilton goes on the inside. Oh, Hamilton goes round. There we go. Russell had absolutely no chance there. The grip levels were, that hard tyre has not worked. For those who've gone onto that hard tyres, has not worked for them at all. At all. Oh. Lewis, by the way, this could be Lewis Hamilton's first podium of the season. So to get 5.7 seconds, 5.6 seconds, and closing. Let's see what happens here. Verstappen's got a little bit of traffic coming up as well. He's got Lance Stroll in front of him. Lance Stroll's currently P13. I mean, where the Aston Martins are now and compared to where they were a year or two ago, you know, wow. I mean, they're going to get lapped, aren't they? Both potentially, by the end of the race here, potentially. $5.5 seconds, 1:17.6 to a 1:17.9. So another 3/10 there. Let's see how. Max Verstappen team radio. Verstappen told by the race engineer, we need to push to the end. Lando not saving. Are they trying to suggest that Max wasn't pushing? Because if he wasn't pushing, he should be pushing. He's only 5.3 seconds. That gap was like 7.5, 8 seconds not long ago. So Lance Stroll's just been lapped. 5.3 seconds now, the gap, as we count down 53 laps of 66 going. I just sort of feel perhaps it's a bit too far. My initial thoughts are it's too far. It would have been close because Lando Norris lost 4 seconds behind George Russell in that first stint. So it shows actually that if you add those 4 seconds on, there would be quite close, you know. So the question is whether or not McLaren are genuinely as quick now as the Red Bulls. And you add on those 4 seconds, and you could argue, yeah, we're neck and neck at the moment, the Red Bull and the McLaren. You could argue that they are neck and neck. And both Ferraris, despite their mega upgrades, currently P5 and P6, that hasn't worked as well. They had Verstappen team radio. Strat 10 when you can. Ten. Max Verstappen saying 2 or 10. 2 or 10. 10. There obviously concerns are the Red Bull pit crew there, the race engineer, and also with Lando with Verstappen going, sorry, confirmed 2 or 10. 2, I can't hear. 2 or 10. 2, and they were saying 1-0, 10, 1-0. That to me says that perhaps they're just a little bit under pressure. 5.4 seconds though he's responded because they've obviously upped their engine power a little bit. New personal best lap time there by Verstappen, 1:17.7 and a 1:17.9 by Lando. So Strat 10 is presumably some sort of engine mode setting, I'm going to guess. So they may have another push. They may be taking, the thing is as well, you've got to take a couple of laps sometimes to re-harvest your energy. So let's see how that one plays out. 5.6 currently the gap there. Elsewhere on the track, we've got Hamilton obviously third, looking on for his first podium of the season. Russell in fourth. Norris in fifth and sixth. A long way off the lead. 21 and 22 seconds, by the way, off. They will be disappointed, Ferrari. Without a doubt, they'll be disappointed. As we move on to lap 55 of 66, just 11 laps to go now. 5.8 seconds now the gap. So Lando Norris is perhaps he's just Those tyres maybe have run off just a little bit. 118 last lap for Verstappen. Lando Norris has had a bit of... Are you? Just as I'm joined by the boy. You want to have a seat? Yeah? No, you can't press that. No, not while I'm doing this. No, Leo. Leo, not while I'm doing this, please. Thank you. You okay? Right, we have a young racing fan here. You watching racing cars? Yeah. There, and they're over there, look. Oh. Yeah, don't press anything. You've already made it go down. No, Leo, you can put it down in a bit when we're finished. Okay. So here we are with we have got everything feels a bit lower. Let's see if this. There we go. That's better. I've got one of those electric up-down desks, and the boy had pressed the button to make it start going down, which is why I suddenly started getting taller and taller. And but no, Leo, what have I said? You put it down in a minute. At the end of the race. All right. He's not happy with me. I was thinking to myself, am I just getting taller or is my desk getting lower? Because I'm on a stand-up desk so I can stand around as I'm watching the race here and commentating to you guys. Right, let's have a look here. What have I just missed after all that? So, 5 seconds now, the gap. Now, they've had a bit of traffic. Perhaps Norris has just recharged his battery just a little bit. Perhaps we'll see what Verstappen does. Whoop, there goes the light now. Mm. 4.9 seconds is the gap. So when you now are up next for Norris to get past Verstappen, about to pass Alonso. He's currently P12. That probably shows you just where the Aston Martins are really in terms of where they want to be. They've been lapped without right pace. We've obviously had no safety car or anything today. So 4.7 seconds now for Lando Norris, but I just feel there's 8 laps to go. And I think Verstappen is just, but like I said, 4 seconds he lost. Lando Norris behind George Russell. Those 4 seconds and they're neck and neck. And it shows that perhaps in reality, both cars are quite closely matched, the Red Bulls and the McLaren. Right, here we go. So 58 of 66. Lando Norris, 4.7 seconds. Hamilton on course for podium. First one of the season. George Russell. The Ferraris, 21 seconds and 25 seconds back. Leclerc and Sainz. A long way back compared to where they want to be. Piastri, who he struggled all weekend, really, Piastri, with balance and so on, finds himself in P7, which is three places better than he started. We never really got to see Piastri put in a good, against the Ferraris. I mean, he's lapping quicker than certainly lapping quicker than Sainz, but he's obviously was way back as well. He got held up in that first stint as well by Gasly. Those first stint, when everyone's all on the same set of tyres, the same age and so on, it makes such a big difference. So, Lando Norris, by the way, driver of the day, 29%. So, he's not going to get the win here by looks things. 4.6 seconds now, the gap. But it's been a good race for its part. But that first stint was Lando Norris will be ruining the fact that he didn't get the start he wanted. If he could have just held himself, even in P2, even if he lost the place to Verstappen, but didn't lose the place to Russell, at least he could have been there with a race. But yeah. 117.9 last lap by Norris. I mean, they're Alex Albon into the gravel. Alex Albon, who's currently P18. Williams have really struggled this weekend. Really struggled. Right. I tell you, it's interesting. We haven't had. You know what? Not only have we not had a safety car, we haven't even had a yellow flag. We haven't had a yellow flag, have we? I mean, it's nothing. Lando Norris 117.9 in the last lap, 4.8 seconds behind Verstappen with 6 seconds to go. These two, though, Lando and Verstappen, are miles in front of everyone. Mm. 4.7 seconds now the gap. As who's that? That is Lando going past Alonso, being lapped. Obviously, that's a wake up call for Aston Martin being lapped in Barcelona. Alonso being lapped by not just P1 but P2. No points for Aston Martin either this weekend. Gasly might get a point now for and Ocon. Gasly and Ocon both in the points positions as it stands. Oscar Piastri on P7. He's closing on Carlos Sainz, but again, that's a long gap there. Big old gap. 7 seconds, in fact. As we go. I mean, last lap 118.1, 119.1. I mean, it was a second quicker than Sainz. That hard tyres not work. Everyone who's gone on to the hard tyres have struggled. Everyone. So 4.3 seconds now the gap. Lando Norris will be able to see Verstappen now, but it's just we've got 4 laps to go. He needs a second a lap here. The only thing he can hope for is maybe a mistake by Verstappen, but I don't see much happening now. Technical go, 5 laps going, very closed, clown faced. Nice to see stream. Cheers, Technical Goat. Thank you very much for the comments. Here we go. Is Leclerc's closing in on George Russell here? That would be a real blow. Bear in mind, if Russell led after the first lap, he may well finish P5 here. Piastri last lap, so 118.7, 118.1, 191, 117.9. So Piastri, if he goes on at this rate, could be close to Sainz. So Leclerc could be close to Russell, but Piastri could be close to Sainz here, the way things are going. Interestingly. Let's see what happens here. The 4.1 seconds now, the gap. Very managed gap now, 4.2 between Norris and Verstappen. And like I said, Norris finished 4 seconds. Norris lost 4 seconds behind George Russell in that first stint. Those 4 seconds are crucial because the gap is currently 4.1 seconds. There was a question before the start of the race, and is Red Bull and McLaren now level in terms of the car? They're now equal. 4 seconds, they would be level. You could argue on that data, yes, there's a bigger picture to look at, but on that data, you could argue, 3.8 seconds now the gap. He's pushing. This was definitely. I can't wait to Austria, by the way, because I think in Austria we're going to have a really good race. I do think that McLaren and Red Bull, Verstappen and Norris are very neck and neck. The difference is, I think a lot of it comes down to experience. Norris it's not got experience starting on pole. Sometimes you need to know how to start on pole, don't you? You need to know how to control the race at the front, and that's when Norris has not got that know-how that Max had, and I think that made a difference today. 3.9 seconds to gap, 3.8 as they come around. Norris comes around the final bends. Let's have a look, because Leclerc is all over the back of Russell, and Piastri, despite 2 laps to go, Piastri's all over, or is closing in very quickly on Sainz. 4.3 seconds to gap there, but he's lapping over a second a lap quicker. Let's have a look. Leclerc is currently 1.6 seconds behind Russell. Doesn't have DRS, but we'll get some slipstream here now. And we have got literally now 2 laps to go. The gap 3.2 seconds, 3.3. Just been told that 4.2 seconds was actually what Lando Norris lost on that first. Oh, they're both not Verstappen and Norris. The pace that they are, they're pit stop in front of the Ferraris. The Ferraris, with their big upgrades this weekend, are pit stop behind the leaders. Let that sink in a little bit. Let that sink in where McLaren are as well. They are here. They have lost 4 seconds at the start of the race. They're 3 seconds behind. As we go into lap 65 of 66. 118.2 to 119.0. So Verstappen his soft tyres are now 2.8, 2.7. I just wonder if Verstappen's tyres are they just gone 2.7 seconds now to gap. And there's traffic here for Sargent, for Verstappen with Sargent there. 2.6 seconds to gap. Verstappen will be pushing. He'll be keeping an eye on his mirrors. He'll be there, and he'll be there. Then he'll be there, and then he'll be there. He'll be keeping an eye on what's going on behind him. Yeah, I think Verstappen is struggling here. But also, Leclerc's right up behind Russell. In fact, he's only 1.1 seconds. He may have DRS come in, available come into the final pit there. Let's have a look. Norris, by the way, 2.5 seconds. But Verstappen's going to have DRS 2.3. But yeah, Verstappen's going to have DRS as he goes past Sargent here. Which has helped. Good timing there, Sargent, on for Verstappen to give Verstappen that DRS, because all of a sudden it's gone from 2.3 to 2.6% instead of probably being 2.1%. Leclerc, overtake Russ, please. Says Technical Goats. It's going to be close. Russell, he's going down. It's just too far away on the stage, but Leclerc is all over the back of Russell here. This is going to be a push all the way to the line. 2.5 seconds again the gap now. So, I think you could argue, by the way, the current state of affairs is this: the McLarens are neck and neck with Verstappen, Red Bull. The difference isn't the pace by Verstappen; it is the experience of Red Bull and Verstappen against the lack of experience by Norris. Here comes Verstappen round the last straight by 2 seconds. Wins the Spanish Grand Prix. Lando Norris second, and Hamilton is going to come home for his first podium of the season. Would you believe? First podium of the season for Lewis Hamilton as he comes across the checkered line now. That's confirmed, P3. Here comes Russell, and here comes Leclerc. Leclerc can't quite get there. So Leclerc P5 and Sainz P6, but they are 22.7 seconds off the lead. They are a pit stop behind either Ferraris. It is not where Ferrari wanted to be with their big upgrades package. And there we have it, ladies and gents. By the way, points for the Alpines in Gasly and Ocon as they start their revival. Verstappen team radio. Congratulations, Max. That was hard work. But it was all won in turn one, and that is the experience. The experience of Lando Norris there, I think, cost him in that first corner. But yeah, the McLaren's pushed. They've tried something different as well. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, it's that now. If you haven't, bit of housekeeping. If you haven't clicked that like button, don't forget to click the like button. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. We will be back, obviously, for the Grand Prix going forward as well. We've got Austria next week, followed by my home Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix in Silverstone. So don't forget to join us for that. Lando Norris, disappointed. He's been given, obviously, an extra point, fastest lap of the race, extra point, but he's disappointed. He's just explained that he's disappointed. And he says, you know, about that first stint that has cost them, and it did cost them the first stint. So it's good. It was a very good tactical race. I think everything is set now for Austria. It has been a very closely fought race. McLaren are close. They are very close to winning consecutive races, in my view. They are very close at the moment. Lewis Hamilton, first podium of the season for Lewis. So good drive for Lewis Hamilton there as well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. Like I said, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you for Austria next week, followed by the British Grand Prix in Silverstone and the triple header weekends live here on the F1 Fan Zone. Until next time, I will see you all again soon.